What's up, guys? Welcome to Good Bad Wrestling No Holds Barred. This is the show where we dig up bad wrestling from the past and then bury it again. I am your host, John.
And I'm trying to get fucking situated. I'm Jack.
You guys can follow along the show wherever they got podcasts. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify. We're in the deepest, darkest corners of the internet. You cannot hide from us. While you are there, hitting that subscribe button. Also, rate and review us. We want to hear from you guys. It helps us be relevant in the standings. So if you could take the time to do that, we'd really appreciate it. If you're on the YouTubes looking at our big stupid faces, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the show. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we are here today. The reason that we've asked you here is to discuss things on a poll. We are doing our patented, our trademarked top bottom 5 list.
And if anybody knows me, they know I love things on a pole.
I don't know if you want to be broadcasting that.
No.
Yeah. So,
oh no, or is it things on a stick?
Right. Yeah.
Corn dogs and
both. Yeah, I didn't bring any singles with me, so So that's right. We're talking about our top bottom 5 WCW blank on a pole matches.
Yeah. So on a pole matches historically go back to the 17th century.
Abraham Lincoln, I think, was in the first one.
Yeah, and I think actually Vlad the Impaler made on a pole matches super famous.
Yeah. Your head on a pole.
Your head on a pole.
Yeah, your witch mother on a pole. Yeah.
Fast forward a few centuries. Is that how many hundred?
Sure. Yeah. What do I look like? A rocket surgeon?
And we get the illustrious birth of Vince Russo.
Yes, the Lord of all things good bad. Vincent Mortimer Russo.
Now, he didn't invent the on a pole match.
He didn't?
No.
Okay.
So I was reading, and there was actually I believe it was in the 80s, there was a on a pole match with Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase.
Was it a 2x4?
Nope. It was, I can't remember what was on a pole, but they were in tuxedos, and it was in a cage. And apparently
you're sure Vince Russo didn't come up with this?
And apparently this match was really good, and they say it's better than their WrestleMania 4 match. So
wait a minute, Jim Duggan and who?
Ted DiBiase.
I can't see that match being good.
I'm definitely down to watch it. I guess it was a bloodbath. So he didn't invent them.
Okay.
But you wouldn't know that because towards the end of WCW 99 2000, every fucking week there was a something on a pole match. Why? I don't fucking know.
A couple of episodes ago, you and I just at random, not necessarily at random, but based on the date of that day, we chose a Nitro that we thought was roughly 20 years before the day that we were watching it.
Yep.
Sure as shit, there's an on a pole match just out of the blue.
On a pole match. So we're going to go through our picks for the top bottom 5. So I'm going to start with number 5. And
if you're new to the show, or even if you've been listening since day one and you don't know what a top bottom 5 is, neither do we.
Yeah, so. we don't either. So this one, because 4 is a weird number,
yeah,
I went with 5. And this is more of an honorable mention. It's completely stupid. So November 2011. 2011.
Okay.
SmackDown.
Okay, so it's not just WCW.
No, it's not. Okay. It's just on a pole matches.
Okay.
Mick Foley is the GM, and there's a mistletoe on a pole match. And he introduces the match, and it's 9 divas. This is the diva era.
Good God.
I believe Beth Phoenix was the champion.
Are we allowed to say whatever you're about to say, like in public? Are we still allowed to talk about however this went?
Yeah.
Or is it a crime now?
I don't know. Lock me up. And so he goes in the winner. There's mistletoe on a pole match, and whichever diva wins gets to cash in big. Right? Okay. So all the divas come out at one time.
Okay. Is it a race to kiss under the mistletoe?
No. I mean, that would have been fun. But so all 9 come out with the same song. They really had respect for women's wrestling then.
Oh yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah, they all come out.
You could feel it.
I shit you not, the match itself lasts no more than a minute 15.
With 9 women?
With 9.
Excuse me, divas. I almost acted like they were human beings there for a second. I apologize.
Brie Bella wins.
Of course, yeah.
She hops down. She's got her. She's got the mistletoe, and she's doing the strap is mine. And Mick Foley comes out, and he goes, "I'm sorry. I think there's some confusion here. The winner of the mistletoe on a pole match doesn't earn a Divas title shot. They get to lay a kiss onto any superstar of their choosing between now and Christmas."
You're fucking kidding me.
No. I wish I was kidding.
How in the ever living fuck did Mick Foley, of all people, one of the biggest proponents of women's wrestling, one of the nicest guys anyone has ever met in wrestling, one of the most logical, level-headed, decent human beings, how did he sign off on something that fucking dumb? And I don't even know what the right word for it is. It's sexist. It's
Yes. The reason I have this at number 5 and not number 1, and trust me, it was I thought about it being number 1, but it only lasted a minute,
which is worse.
It's during the Divas era, which nothing mattered.
Nothing in the Divas era mattered.
It was just, hey, let's give them a couple seconds and let's put them on TV because they have huge knockers and whatever.
Yeah,
and
it's not like now where they treat women with the utmost respect and give them some significant things to do, such as be a background dancer on Raw Underground.
Yeah. We've come up.
We've come a long way.
So that it comes in at number 4 on the top bottom.
Wait, we started at number 4?
I'm sorry, number 5.
Okay, now we're on number 4.
Now we're on number 4. Number 4 comes all the way to us from July 31st of 2000 on WCW Nitro.
Okay, so about a little over a year. So this would be the episode before the one that we just reviewed.
Yeah,
because we did August 7th.
August, and I didn't even put that together. And it directly ties in.
So that would be 2 consecutive on a pole matches.
Jesus,
because the one that we watched was a pole on a pole match, or a
pipe on a pole match.
Pipe on a pole.
So there's been an ongoing feud with Shane Douglas and Billy Kidman.
Oh, before Tori Wilson Appreciation Night.
This led up to Tori Wilson Appreciation Night.
Okay, I'm listening.
So the prior week on Nitro, they released a Billy Kidman, Tori Wilson sex tape.
Nitro did?
Nitro did.
The very first fappening?
Yeah. And then on Thunder, they released the Shane Douglas Tori Wilson sex tape. But there's a twist. Shane Douglas had a little issue in his video. So July 31st, he barges into Ernest the Cat Miller's office for a match. And Ernest the Cat Miller goes, "You know what? I liked what I saw. I'm going to give you a Viagra on a pole match."
Wait a minute. Wait just a fucking minute. Okay, I knew about the Viagra on a pole match, that it happened. And I probably watched it live as it was taking place, but I don't remember the match. And I'm gonna let you finish. You're telling me that the Nitro that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago was the immediate Nitro after a Viagra on a pole match, and they didn't fucking mention it?
Never.
They completely and utterly no-sold the Viagra on a pole match.
Yeah.
And Billy Kidman put on a charade of a Tori Wilson Appreciation Night, which she took the bait for after a Viagra on a fucking pole match.
Yes.
Vince Russo is actually worse than he's given credit for. My mind is blown.
So if you guys see me looking down, sometimes we take notes. I don't always, but because it's a top bottom 5, I took some notes on what I saw. So they have the they do the setup for the match.
Hang on a second. So Viagra on a pole. I might be putting too much thought into this. Okay, so the premise of the match is that Shane Douglas can't get his dick up.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So usually the winner of a match is the person who removes the thing from the pole. Either they win right then,
Yes.
or they get the right to use the thing that they pulled off the pole.
Yes.
Do I have that right?
Yes.
So the winner of the Viagra on a pole match is the person who receives the Viagra.
So the winner, as because it wasn't clear.
And then what? You use your fucking cock as the as the weapon.
Well, there was a ton of those puns going around, but per the great little sidebar, the announcers in just watching some of these in WCW 99 2000 were awful.
Oh, imagine
Awful.
JR and King on a Viagra on a pole match on commentary.
Just remember the JR. Just remember the JR, because that'll come in a little bit later. So per the announcers, you can use the bottle on your opponent if you get it. So
Devastating weapon. I remember on WCW Revenge when you used to go under the ring and get the bottle of Viagra.
yeah, and use it on your opponent.
Yeah.
And per the announcers, there's been dozens of Viagra on pole matches in history.
Sure. Right. Yeah. I remember seeing Pat Patterson in one actually against Lou Thez.
And they talk about a Viagra on a pole match with Antonio Inoki. I'm sure he loved them name dropping that.
Yeah. Antonio Inoki. Oh, I bet you what happened was they had a falling out with New Japan.
Yeah.
And so then they threw in an Inoki can't get it up joke.
Yeah. They also talk about the midget Viagra on a pole match.
There's Viagra specifically for midgets. You don't just take a half one.
If the problem still persists in 2 hours, call a doctor. I don't know. Also, sidebar, there's so much fucking going on in these. Also, so this is at the 2/3 of the way through this Nitro, right?
Yeah, well, 2/3 is the problem.
After this match, there is still a women's hardcore match with Major Guns and Miss Hancock.
For sure, yeah.
And Nash vs. Steiner in a straitjacket match.
Wait a minute. The straitjacket match took place before the episode that they didn't talk about any of this on the episode that we watched, as though these are just like ho-hum occurrences that don't need to be discussed on the next episode.
There's quite a few things I noticed when you go onto the network and you're looking through old WWE. You can skip segments, right?
Yeah.
And you're going through and you're like, all right, so this episode of SmackDown, there's, I don't know, 10 segments. You go to a Nitro,
52 segments.
It's scroll for 10 minutes to find the fucking segment you're looking for. Some of them not even labeled. You just have to kind of find it by happenstance.
Good golly. How much cocaine and just millions of dollars that you haven't earned do you have to think that something like a Viagra on a pole match sandwiched between a straitjacket match and like a mud pit match is just commonplace that need not be remembered or discussed later?
Yeah. The reason this is at 4 was because the match itself wasn't necessarily bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Nitro match, right? The match wasn't really it was entertaining. It was a Nitro match. It was Billy Kidman, Shane Douglas.
They're both talented guys.
Both talented. I like both of them. The finish, Kidman goes up, gets the bottle, comes back down, goes to hit Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas hits the franchise, which is his finisher, which was terrible.
What is the franchise?
So it was like
DDT?
It was like a jawbreaker where you're like north south.
Okay.
And you just drop like a jawbreaker. When he did that, the Viagra bottle broke on Shane Douglas.
Like broke on accident?
Shoot broke on Shane Douglas. He picks up the broken piece and holds it up, and the ref goes, Shane Douglas wins because Tori Wilson was distracting him. Tori Wilson comes in. She starts attacking Kidman, rubs his face in the ground, which somehow fills his mouth full of Viagra.
Okay.
And as they're leaving, the announcers call it a classic.
Okay, I have nothing but questions.
I'll see what I can do.
So, okay. They have a Viagra on a pole match.
Yep.
Shane Douglas is the winner. This is something that would indicate a pretty heavy feud.
Mm-hmm.
The next week, Billy Kidman's like, I'm going to have Tori Wilson appreciation night. And she's like, yeah, sounds good.
And Shane Douglas doesn't come out.
What the fuck was happening in this company?
And I also would feel like if you're Shane Douglas and you win, yeah, you walk away with Tori Wilson, but you like on the down low, grab a couple of those pills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now they make it even easier. You can go to GetRoman.com, and they're not a sponsor, but they should be.
I'm good. Thanks.
So that was number 3, was the illustrious Viagra on a pole match.
Sure it wasn't number 4?
God, I am fucking off on my numbers today.
Yeah, counting to 5 is super hard, but counting backwards from 5, that's a whole nother story.
I'm good at a lot of things. Apparently counting to 5 is not one of them. So coming in at 3, I'm going to try to get this the rest of the way.
You're going to bungle it again.
Yep. We're going to fast forward. Are we fast forwarding? We're fast forwarding 2 weeks.
Serious question. Are you going best to worst or worst to best? Because I can't tell.
I don't know. Okay. I'm just piecing this together. We're going July 31st.
Okay.
Viagra on a pole.
Okay.
We're going August 7th. A pipe on a pole.
Okay. No, you're fucking kidding
I'm not
me.
even kidding. And then you go to August 13th, New Blood Rising, and you get the culmination of a feud with a Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. We brought that up as we were watching the match where Judy Bagwell was already in a neck brace.
Yep. She wasn't in the neck brace for the pole match.
Well, whatever Mean Gene did when he came down with his neck brace, he must have fixed her right up. You've got to be fucking kidding me. That's the pay-per-view that was happening right after the show that we watched.
And I promise to everybody, these are real-time reactions. I did not piece it. You're listening to me count to 5, and I can't figure that shit out. You think I can count weeks on a calendar? As of right now, I can count by 45s, and that's about it.
Oh man, and I sat down right here 1 minute before we started recording, having no idea what we were even going to talk about today. Oh man.
So Canyon and Bagwell are in a feud.
Canyon,
where Canyon is stalking Judy Bagwell.
A week beforehand, he was stalking one of the backstage announcer bimbos.
Yes.
Didn't he? Who punched Judy Bagwell in the face on the one that we watched? Was it Canyon? No, Jeff Jarrett.
No, he hit the fat chick Thrilla's Little Debbie with the guitar.
Right. Somebody cold cocked Judy Bagwell. I remember that. And I guess it was Canyon.
So he had kidnapped Judy Bagwell when? I don't know, because I thought the week before Judy Bagwell came out with Buff.
Well, she also left
Mean Gene
in the safe arms of one Mean Gene Okerlund.
Unless on Nitro, the Nitro between.
Oh, Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder. Yeah. So they come out. Canyon drives out the forklift. She's tied to the forklift, and he cuts his promo with a worse lisp than Jack Swagger. So it's really hard to take him serious when he's being a heel. And talks about how it was supposed to be a Judy Bagwell on a pole match. Okay, when did they set this up? Because we watched the Nitro before. There was no mention of a Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
It had to have been on Thunder. It had to have been on the Thunder in between. And also, How do you even say the words Judy Bagwell on a pole out loud in front of a crowd to set up that match? Just imagine, like, flip the roles. Imagine Teddy Long coming out and being like,
Holla, holla, holla.
It's a Judy Bagwell on a pole match, player, and saying it with a straight face.
With Buff Bagwell versus the Godfather.
and Buff had to have just been like, yep, yeah, I accept the terms of this match.
Yeah. So he comes out and he cuts. The reason this made the list, he comes out and cuts this promo. Well, obviously there's a lot of reasons, but he cuts this promo on she's not on a pole because I scoured this second-rate country of Canada and could not find a pole big enough to hold her.
So the show is in Canada, is why he's ripping Canada. Okay, yeah.
And he's saying that she is so fat that a pole can't hold her.
She's not that fat.
She's not.
She's pretty much.
She's your average mom.
Yeah, she just looks like a mom. I don't even know if that was his real mom. It might have been an actor, but yeah, she's not that fat.
No. So they do their match. It's Buff Bagwell and Canyon. I mean,
it could only be so good.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. Music hits. And who comes out? The legend of pro wrestling, per the announcers, former heavyweight champion,
David Arquette. Wow.
He runs out to attempt to help Canyon win the match. He hits Buff with a hard hat.
What? Where the fuck did he get a hard hat?
From the forklift, because Canyon drove the forklift out.
This is
safety
a
first.
Construction theme, your mom on a pole match with the guy from Scream. Got it.
Yeah. OSHA. Yeah.
Yeah. It all ties together real nice.
Yeah. So he comes out. He hits him. Doesn't take him out. He gets in the ring, tries to hit him again. Buff hits a double blockbuster
on the two of them.
Pins Canyon for the win.
Judy's still on the forklift?
I didn't see him take her down. Maybe he just drove her in the back, which was...
So what was the purpose of Judy Bagwell on a pole?
I mean, technically she's on a forklift and not a pole, but it was advertised as a pole match, so...
Okay. Like, that is both legendary and does it non-existent at the same time. That's baffling. It's unreal.
All right. That was number 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if we're going in the right order here, number 2 on our top bottom 5 of on a pole matches. We don't fast forward that far. December 2nd, 2000 on Nitro.
Okay.
We have Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T in a San Francisco 49er pole match.
Okay, I know about the existence of this match. I know the concept of it. I'll let you tell me. And I know the finish, but I don't know the meat and potatoes of it.
So apparently I tried to figure out the name. I don't think it was in San Francisco.
Okay.
The Niners, I believe they allude that they won the last Super Bowl.
Nope.
So they're the champions.
No, they're not.
They claim.
No, they're not. In the year 2000, they probably hadn't even made the playoffs in 2 years.
But so here's how they come up with this. This match, there's a pole in each corner. And hanging from each pole is a box. And in each box, in 3 of the boxes are weapons. There's a weapon in each of the boxes. And if you get the box with a weapon, you get to use the weapon.
Okay.
In the 4th box is the title. So they come up with a San Francisco 49er match because it's a search for the gold.
Yeah. It's probably just as good as the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. So if you just open the first box and the title's in there, then the match is over and you win?
Match is over.
Okay.
So I will also, sidebar, this is the second match on this episode of Nitro with Jeff Jarrett and Booker T.
Wait. Okay, so this was on Nitro, and they had already wrestled earlier that night. You're saying?
Yes. Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner wrestled Booker T and Sting.
So they said, okay, Teddy Long, we see your tag team match playa, and we raise you going from a tag team match to a San Francisco 49er bullshit on a pole match.
Yes.
Okay.
They also have a little vignette in the back where Jeff Jarrett is walking through the hallway, and he gets introduced to Beetlejuice. Now, if you guys don't remember Beetlejuice,
Howard Stern Beetlejuice.
Howard Stern's Beetlejuice, not Keaton, Michael Keaton. He's dressed as Superman. So if you guys don't remember, I believe he's passed away.
Yeah.
He was like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Very small head. He was a midget that was on Howard Stern. They did a lot of comedy bits of revolving around him. Funny guy, very vulgar. It was entertaining if you liked Howard Stern, if you were into it. So he's out. He calls Jeff Jarrett slapnuts. So Jeff Jarrett hits a challenged little person in the head with a guitar.
Did he waylay him like the same way he did Little Debbie?
Yes.
All right, committed.
So he lays out Beetlejuice in the hallway. They go out for their match. So they start their match as Jeff Jarrett, Booker T. This match, okay, this is a title match. It is so underwhelming. It is such garbage. The whole match lasts like 7 minutes for a WCW title match.
And is it the main event of Nitro also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the beginning, Booker T takes his shirt off, throws it in the crowd. Old lady catches it. Jeff Jarrett legit almost goes to blows with this 70-year-old lady who tries to hit him with Booker T's t-shirt.
God, I love Jeff Jarrett.
So he's jaw-jacking with this old lady. They get in the ring. Booker T whips Jeff Jarrett to the corner. As soon as he hits the corner, one box falls. 30 seconds into the match, box falls. Jeff Jarrett hurries up, opens the box. Right? We got weapons, so it's about to get real. It's a fucking blow-up doll.
Yeah, no.
It's a blow-up doll in a box.
What in the actual fuck?
It's not inflated. It's a limb. Maybe they should have a Viagra on a pole blow-up doll, Kenny Omega blow-up doll match.
I can't even wrap my head around that getting greenlit. Like, they must have given Russo just unprecedented, unchecked power to do the very first thing that came to his dumb pea-brained head.
Oh, it gets better. So, blow-up doll never gets used.
Well, yeah.
I mean, maybe it did later.
What do you do? Suffocate your opponent with it?
Maybe someone used it later. I don't know. I think the Nasty Boys are around somewhere. So, Booker T hits Jeff Jarrett with like 3 moves, and he is dead fish.
Referee bumps.
No referee bump. I just don't understand. These are 2 main eventers, Jeff Jarrett and Booker T, and his moves were like a backdrop, a side slam, and a suplex, and Jeff Jarrett is done. You're a minute and a half into a fucking title match. With both of them.
Well, Jeff Jarrett did do a shoot on Nitro around this time period on Vince Russo, like a lot of guys did. I'm guessing it had more to do with just like a lack of desire to even be participating in something so fucking stupid.
So while Jeff Jarrett's out, Booker T goes up, grabs a second box, opens the box. It is a framed picture of Scott Hall.
Who has what to do with any of this? Okay, like you won it throwing darts at balloons at the county fair? What the
a framed picture of Scott Hall. So Booker T hits Jeff Jarrett with it.
Okay, so if you've got 4 boxes, one of them's got the title in it, and the other 3 have weapons. I could understand one of the 4 boxes having a gag in it. maybe not necessarily a blow up doll, but a useless weapon,
Yep.
right? Like luck of the draw is kind of the story here. But that means that two of them have non-weapons and one of them has
A title.
the title in it. So what's in the third?
So they go through, they have their match shit, the regular match shit. Booker T gives Jeff Jarrett a disgusting pile driver on the announce table that does not budge.
Oh.
Jarrett lands on the ground, rolls over, sees a bottle of water, turns the top and opens it and starts drinking it.
Immediately after a pile driver.
Immediately after a pile driver.
No, I was dead right. This is a man who doesn't give a fuck about what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
How could people? I saw a video earlier. I'm guessing we'll talk about the show overall, but that New Blood pay-per-view.
Rising, yeah.
I saw a video earlier today, actually, of Kevin Nash goes to put Goldberg in a power bomb, puts his head between his legs. Goldberg pushes him off and walks out of the ring. Refuses to job to him, and I'm like, that's the attitude of this company at this era. So for Jeff Jarrett to just fucking Road Warrior Hawk sell a pile driver and then start chugging water doesn't surprise me at all.
So Booker T goes in, grabs the third box, opens it. It is a gold miner's glove.
What the fuck are you supposed to?
It's a leather glove.
God damn it.
I used to use these exact gloves when I lived in a house and the only heat we had was a fireplace, and they were leather gloves that were like super thick so you could
grab something
put wood in the fire and not burn your hands.
Yeah.
And as soon as he pulls it out, so apparently this is supposed to be a throwback to a match years ago. I think it might have been Hacksaw. Somebody used like a coal miner's glove or something. It was like some
it's a reference to something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they go, that's a loaded gold miner's glove. How do you know it's loaded with anything? It's a leather fucking glove.
Imagine sitting in the fucking booking meeting and they're telling you this is going to happen and you're an announcer and you have to say those words in that order with a serious face.
Yeah.
A loaded coal miner's glove and try to sell it to the at-home audience that it's a dire situation.
So Booker T's got the glove on. Jarrett ends up giving him a low blow. He takes him to the corner on the outside, crotches him. Booker T's hurt. Jeff Jarrett takes the glove off, puts the glove on. The announcers are like, man, there's a picture of Scott Hall in this glove. You can cut the drama with a knife. No, you can't.
Oh my God.
So Jeff Jarrett's wearing the glove. He hits Booker T a couple times with the glove, and it's taking him out. Jeff Jarrett goes to the floor, goes under the ring to grab a guitar.
Spare guitar into the ring.
So he's like pulling on the guitar. You can see the guitar pulling back. Okay, Jeff Jarrett goes under the ring to look for the guitar.
I see where this
and
is
he's
headed.
pulling on the guitar, nothing. He goes back in the ring, hits Booker T again, comes back out, tries to grab the guitar. He's having tug of war with the guitar. He goes halfway under the ring to find the butt of the guitar to start pulling on it. Wouldn't you know if there's someone fucking under the ring? So he gets back in. This is where I have a fucking problem. It's wrestling. This is where the problem is.
Now it gets stupid.
We know it's wrestling, suspends belief, whatever. There's one box left. The only thing that could be in that box, I mean, in theory,
that's supposed to be in the box is the championship.
Is the championship.
It could be a swerve of some sort, but
it's supposed to be a championship, right? It could be, Judy Bagwell's underwear in a box. I don't fucking know. So Booker T's on the ground. Jeff Jarrett puts the glove back on, climbs up to the top rope.
Is it a requirement to wear the dumb goddamn glove?
It's loaded, dude.
Yeah.
Of the adjacent corner from the corner with the box, and he sits up there like, when Kane goes up and he posts and get ready for his clothesline?
Yeah.
He sits there for 15 seconds. Okay. All you have to do is grab the other box, which has the title, you win. You climb the corner, you sit there for 15 seconds, wait for Booker T to get up so you can jump off and punch him in the face with a glove. Why didn't you just go grab the fucking box?
Good grief. Okay, I've got a question for you when you're done explaining this.
So, he finally goes up, he punches Booker T with the glove. He goes up, starts climbing the other corner to get the box. Beetlejuice runs out of the ring.
Sure.
And
it's still Howard Stern Beetlejuice.
Still Howard Stern.
Okay.
You have to watch this part. He just speed bags Jeff Jarrett's nuts. He does not pull a punch, and he just starts punching him in the crotch.
He was probably told backstage, like, you know, hit him in the balls and da-da-da-da-da-da, and they moved on, and he was like, okay.
So that takes him out. Booker T goes to grab the box. Booker T grabs the box. It falls. It falls out of his hands to the outside. The title falls out onto the ground. Does he go get the belt? Nope. The way you win is by getting the title from the box.
What do you mean? He just stares at it?
He's standing on the corner. The ring announcer bends down, picks up the title, and hands it to him.
This sounds like, okay, go ahead.
Afterwards, Scott Steiner comes out and hits him with a pipe. And then ends the show by putting Beetlejuice in the Steiner recliner.
What? Oh my God.
It's how you sign off of Nitro.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me break down my thought process right before you told me that last bit. I was about to tell you with no hyperbole. I'm pretty prone to hyperbole and exaggeration. I was gonna ask, this sounds like the literal worst segment in the history of wrestling, and I was about to ask you if it was the worst thing that had ever happened, until you said Scott Steiner put Beetlejuice in a Steiner recliner and totally redeemed yourself. Up until that point, though, is it the worst thing you've ever seen?
It's not the worst. It's one of the worst gimmick matches I've ever seen.
And that's number 2 on the list?
That's number 2 on the list.
I am vibrating with excitement for number 1. If that's number 2, holy fucking balls.
The reason I went with anything else on number 2 before we go to the number 1 or the numero uno?
The top, bottom.
Top, bottom. Okay. Fast forward, rewind. Rewind to 1999, sometime in November, apparently, on Nitro. You go in a room. What was the group? I can't remember. It was almost like Right to Censor, but it was the Harris Brothers, I think.
The powers that be.
Yeah. So they're in a room with 5 luchadors. 4. Just an empty room. Psychosis without a mask. Silver King. Couple others. In walks in Psychosis. Or Hoovy without a mask.
The same person.
Holding a piñata.
Oh, good God.
Because it's his birthday.
Sure.
And he's excited because it's his birthday, so he bought a piñata.
For himself.
For himself.
Because he's Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have them talking, and then all you hear behind the camera is whose voice? Can you guess?
Behind WCW?
Behind the camera, the person who starts talking to the luchadors. Who do you think? Vince Russo.
No, fucking course.
And he goes, now you know, mid-carders don't make a lot of money.
And if you don't know what Vince Russo sounds like,
a New Yorker with a lisp.
The worst of all New York accents.
Yeah.
Like the kind of New York accent that makes people from New York go, ugh, fuck those guys.
Yeah. So he starts talking about how mid-carders don't make a lot of money. They're not very good, but he's going to give them an opportunity to make some real money.
Motherfucker, you're a no-carder.
He's going to give them sticks. They can hit each other, or they can hit the piñata. Because in the piñata, he's going to put a $10,000 check.
A check, not cash?
A check.
Wow, that's exhilarating for the fans.
And they are just over the moon. One of them looking like Nacho Libre. So they go out. They have their match. All 5 of them. All right. So it's a pinata on a pole match. Again, Hoovy hits the corner. Pinata falls. Instantly falls. Here's why I went number 1 on this. So before you have the reintroduction of Dr. Death Steve Williams. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the guy's name who brings him to the show.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Ed Ferrara.
Yeah. This motherfucker is wearing black pants, black button up, black cowboy hat, and making fun of JR's Bell's palsy.
Yeah, I remember that. He did that for a long time, actually.
He comes to the ring to announce, and it's just, and he's doing the like, football. You know, Juventud was a cornerback for the Jalisco. What, like, is that the only way you can
generate heat?
Is by making fun of somebody with a disease?
You have to make fun of Bell palsy and be racist simultaneously.
Yeah.
Derivative, racist, and just a fucking low life.
So they're having their match, and that's pretty. I get drawing heat. That part is pretty. It's pretty distracting. The match is whatever. They're 5 guys hitting each other. At one point, Hoovy picks up the pinata and just holds it.
It's got a check in it.
But he doesn't. Oh, you have to get the check.
Not if you have the whole pinata.
He doesn't open it. He tries to rehang it so they can hit it with a stick. A couple of other people do this. They try to rehang the pinata. You know that had to have been at the, like, no one in their right mind would think, let's rehang this in the match. Unless WCW and Vince Russo want the image of 5 luchadors with sticks hitting a pinata.
Jesus. Okay, 2 points about this. One, the fact that it's a check and not cash, I find hysterical. What was that movie with Robert Redford and Woody Harrelson where he gives him money so he can bang his wife? It's like a super famous movie, like something offer.
I know what you're talking about. I can't.
Fuck, it's a famous movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's the famous scene where Woody Harrelson has a bed covered in cash that he's rolling around in while some other dude is porking his wife, and he's happy to have the money. Imagine that same scene with a check.
Yeah.
Like a check doesn't have the dramatic impact that cash does, so that's really funny. Also, second point, the fact that the pinata fell off. Mm-hmm. And this is the earliest in the chronology of these matches, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this fell off. The 4 other instances it fell off. They just put out that 5-part Undertaker series about him retiring, right? And he keeps having like a bad match, and he's like, I can't end like that, so I got to do another one, and it's not up to his standards. He's like, I got to do another one, and he's like, it just keeps going bad, and he thinks that he's just chasing the good one. Is that how Vince Russo was with these fucking pole matches? Where the first one's an unmitigated disaster, and he's like, man, I gotta do another one. I gotta get it right. And that one's a fucking disaster, and he's like, oh man, I gotta do another. How could you have this many? How could you allow for 2 dumb fucks in Northern California in 2020 to have enough pole matches to do a top bottom 5 list and not even come close to covering them all?
No. There's still a leather jacket on a pole match.
Oh, fucking criminy.
So we end up Silver King, Hoovy ends up breaking open the pinata. Dr. Death comes in, just destroys all of them.
Okay.
Just beats the fuck out of all of them. Silver King's holding up the check. Dr. Death takes it, sticks it in his pocket, lays him out, and what'd you say his fucking asshole's name was? Oklahoma?
Ed Ferrara. He was doing the character called Oklahoma.
And he goes, Silver King, there's your El Recito.
Oh my God. That's not even funny to anyone. Even if you are some racist redneck fuck, that's still not funny. Like, God damn it. Indecent Proposal is the name of that movie.
Okay.
Like that shit is just unfucking necessary. The reason that there was characters called the powers that be is because the censorship at TNT was stopping them from doing certain things. They needed to stop doing certain things.
Yeah.
They needed someone to put their asses in check. That whole era, like the quote attitude era, you and me were 14-year-olds at the time, and we thought it was just cool as shit.
Yeah.
Because Howard Stern is the reason, and Jerry Springer are the reason that time period was like this, like edgy and racist and fucking sexist and so cool. You go back and watch that stuff now as a evolved older person. I was about to call us adults. We are not.
No.
It's unbearable. It's just wrong. It's for the most part. Some of it's still really funny. Val Venus getting his dick cut off is really funny. Most of it though, like this Oklahoma and let's give the Mexicans a piñata. It's not funny.
Yeah, I try to look at a lot of it with a grain of salt, and it is what it is. But there's certain things you just don't.
Unnecessary. Move on. Pick a different thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to get heat.
Yeah.
Like there's just like, hey, the sports team in this town sucks. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to make fun of JR at all.
Yeah.
I mean, make fun of the fact that he can't get any wrestlers' names right.
Well, you can come out and you can do like he goes, it's a slugfest. It's a slugfest. Okay, that's fine.
Sure.
Like you're making fun of like how he announces whatever. But when you make fun of the disability, it takes away from all the rest of like it's just not necessary. You take that part away and you got me, and I'm like, cool, that's great, like that's funny, but that one little thing is just like, come on, man. Like,
all right,
that's our top bottom 5 on a pole match.
This all gets a golden Russo. Even the WWE one gets a golden Russo. So that's it. That's the top bottom 5 on a pole matches. Get at us on the socials. Good Bad Wrestling, No Holds Barred. Let us know what your favorite on a pole match is.
Or what on a pole match you would like to see.
Yeah, what should we be putting on a pole or on a stick? What do you want to see on a stick? And let us know what other top bottom 5s we could do. We love to do a good countdown. Count up? I don't know. But
up downs.
Yeah, get at us, let us know. Also, if you were on the podcast side, stick around for the news. And if you were on the YouTube side, leave us some comments down here. And we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.